Since 2003, this is the Sports Source, East Tennessee's #1 sports talk show.
Brought to you by Junk Be Gone and the Garza Law Firm.
With your host, John Pennington. The Sports Source starts now.
Good Sunday morning and welcome into the Sports Source. Happy to have you joining us today. We've got a lot to talk about. The Vols went to SEC Media Days and the Red River Shootout broke out. We'll talk Tennessee yay much, and then we'll talk about this expansion thing and how it will impact Tennessee yay much. So a lot of expansion on the table today. We got everything. Is it good overall just to expand? Are Texas and Oklahoma the right teams to do it? How does it impact Tennessee? And we've also got a schedule. It's going to be a bear to try and explain it, but it's very simple that lets you play more teams, see teams more often, even if you expand to 16. It's why I should be commissioner. Let's go ahead and get into this show. First segment brought to you by my friends at Junk Be Gone. Whether it's picking up a driveway dumpster that you yourself have filled up with your junk at home, or loading up your big items for you with their two-person teams, Junk Be Gone is ready to help you clean up and clear out your property, home or business. Junk Be Gone, great locally owned company, family owned right down to the logo design. JunkBeGone.biz is where you can learn more about these fine folks. All right, let's welcome in some other fine folks, and we got two more waiting in the wings. We've got a bigger panel today. Bob Hodge, longtime sports writer. Bob, thanks for being back.
Good morning.
Right there, David Ubben from The Athletic. Thank you for coming in here.
Appreciate it.
Next to you, we have Chuck Cavaleris, longtime sports writer. Chuck, thanks for being here.
Great to be here.
Added a new client this week who said there's one thing you got to do. Get rid of Cavaleris.
But he was kidding.
He was kidding. All right. But I'm still getting rid of you. Folks should get used to this with Texas in the league, but SEC Media Days came and went and nobody paid much attention. All the talk was about expansion. Texas seems to dominate the conversation wherever they go, and that certainly was the case this week with the surprise news down there. But let's talk Tennessee very quickly. The media in Hoover, never known for picking things correctly, they looked at it and they had Tennessee 5th in the SEC East. It's about where most of the magazines have them. I think Phil Steele had them 6th in the East. Athlon's, Lindy's, which Jimmy Himes does, 5th. The SEC media picks Tennessee 5th in the East. They also looked at individual talent. Cade Mays made first-team All-SEC offense. Paxton Brooks, your punter, was second-team All-SEC special teams. And cornerback Alontae Taylor was tabbed as third-team All-SEC defensive back. That's it. 3 players, 1 first-teamer, 5th in the East. My question, is that too much love for the Vols? Not enough love for the Vols? About the right amount of respect for the Vols. What do you guys say?
Well, Tennessee did put a lot of guys on the All Big 12 team.
Yes.
For whatever it's worth. So let's not shortchange them too much.
But no, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah,
Great, and the boys
Listen,
are coming back.
Right.
Exactly. Jeremy Pruitt's recruiting prowess.
He's going to show it back in Neyland.
Exactly. No, I mean, it's about right. I'm with you on that. I think, if you look around, I'm not sure that you're going to see a lot of guys that you feel like were, snubbed or anything.
Yeah.
And, that 5th spot, I mean, you could maybe fall below South Carolina. You could maybe climb above if Missouri or Kentucky are a little bit underwhelming. But, yeah, on paper, I don't think Tennessee's got a lot of beef here.
And what about the folks that say Tennessee still got a lot of talent over there? What Alabama have 16 players selected?
Basically the All-SEC team.
The All-SEC. And Henry T was on there. Let's don't
Yeah.
forget about him. So I thought it was about right. I mean, who would you name that got slided?
Nobody.
I'm going to go with just about right. I will make a prediction. When the season's over, Tennessee will have a couple of players make All-SEC simply because of Josh Heupel's offense. If it works as well,
I think
you're
you're
going to have a wide receiver, maybe one of your running backs, who people seem to think that that's where you got your most depth and your best players. So Tennessee might do a little bit better as far as the individual awards are concerned. Team-wise, 5th or 6th, I don't see how you go any other direction but 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
So, I think they hit it pretty much right.
I wouldn't be surprised. That's a really good point about Heupel's offense. And if they find a quarterback, if they're not rotating quarterbacks, and he's not a guy who likes to do that, but if they find a guy and stick with him all year, sheer numbers alone could get their quarterback into a third-team race. Even if it's just numbers-based. Let's talk about the job Josh Heupel did down there. I mean, it was everybody praises Lane Kiffin because he's just a barrel of monkeys. He's fun and dandy. And then Shane Beamer got a lot of love coming out of there, which I did not anticipate.
Yeah.
Josh Heupel seemed to draw kind of yawns. It wasn't Jeremy Pruitt bad, but it wasn't hee-haw hilarious. Doesn't need to be. Who cares? Has nothing to do with winning games. But your thoughts on Josh Heupel and the job he did down there? Anything stand out to you about his? Did he seem normal? Did he seem natural? Did he seem comfortable? Or did you look at it and say, boy, there have been guys who've come in here, first-year SEC coaches, who've been a little gun-shy when they look at all those cameras and all that media. Your thoughts on how he did?
I thought he did well. I mean, what's he going to say? What's he going to do? No, he wasn't cracking jokes. You know, he wasn't a Steve Spurrier. And back in the day, I can remember Vince Dooley was really good down at SEC Media Days too. So he wasn't an entertainer.
Right.
But I thought for what he needed to go in there and do, talk about his program, I thought he was fine. I think he's still feeling his way around his program. He's still got all this stuff hanging over his program. So I think he went down there. I think he did okay.
He comes across as positive, which I think is good. Because I don't know that Pruitt always did.
I didn't see a lot of negative.
Yeah, I mean, he has his kind of beats that he wants to hit on. He wants to talk about being fun. He wants to talk about building connection.
The iconic tee.
Yeah, we're going to score points and hitting on history. I mean, the reality is, like, there's not a lot to sell for Tennessee at the moment, and he doesn't want to talk that much about the investigation. I mean, I asked him a little bit about it. And
I was surprised in the main room. I thought that was going to be 90% of what he got. He didn't get very much of it at all in the main room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think people know that there's not much he can or would say about it. I mean, there's just that doesn't behoove him that much.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like I said, he hit his talking points, and Tennessee is doing what they can at the moment.
What do you think of his performance?
Just stay positive, do what you do, don't make a major mistake, and let the next guy get up there. You know, that's pretty much what it is. We talked about it last week. Yeah,
par
the hole. Don't hit it in the woods.
You've had double bogeys around here for years.
I really thought there would be maybe a little bit more about Tennessee and the transfer portal and how the T on the helmet should stand for transfer portal. I thought there would be a little bit more about that. Yeah, you're going to run through the T. I mean, so what have they had so far? 35 have ran through the T. I thought there'd be a little bit more about that because to me that is, besides the NCAA stuff, take that off the table. That's Tennessee's postseason and preseason, that overwhelming number of guys that have just said sayonara. And I was talking to you. Couple left that I didn't even realize had left. I mean, they had left.
It's hard to keep up with them.
It is, legitimately, it is hard.
That's just it. I mean, you do the exit interviews.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have any time left. I mean, you're a full-time job doing exit interviews.
Yeah.
All right, enough about Tennessee in this context. Let's talk about the expansion thing and who is okay, pun intended, who is okay with expanding to 16. I'm not talking about teams next. I just want to know who's okay with the idea of going to 16 teams. Is that too unwieldy? Is that too big of a deal? Or A, it's coming, go for it. Be the first one there. We'll discuss that next on the Sports Source. Come on back.